If you get this one thing wrong, nothing else matters. So stay tuned and find out what it is. Okay, welcome back. So my name is Marc from 12weekathlete.com, and this video series is just dedicated to dieting. So the next week of vlogs is just going to be about dieting. The reason being is I've released my 500 rep transformation video, and ever since that I've been getting questions from my face-to-face clients, from you guys on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, via email, asking me, Marc, what is going on? How have you managed to get these results in 2 weeks' time? So I figured, you know what, I could talk to everyone on a, face-to-face individual basis, or I can just make a video series about it and, educate you along the way. I think that's probably much easier. So what I'm going to be doing is in the next 5 to 7 days, every day I'm going to tackle one of my, dieting rules, if I can speak of rules or principles I follow. And also based on your comments throughout the week, I might do 1 or 2 extra videos on top. And so the very first video, which this one is dedicated to, is going to be about caloric intake. So that's my very first rule of dieting, is how many calories you eat on a daily basis. And this is also which I need you to pay attention to, guys, because this is, if you get this wrong, nothing else matters in dieting. If you get this number not right, you can exercise as much as you want, you can calculate your macronutrient split, how many protein, fat, and carbs, and you can play around with that as much as you want. If you get that number not right, nothing else matters, trust me. I've done it a billion times nearly, not a billion, but a lot of times with my clients and with myself, and I know what I'm talking about. So make sure you pay attention to this video. I'm going to give you some guidance throughout, and it's not as complicated. It isn't rocket science, but if you don't know about it, it is probably rocket science to you. So the first thing you can do in order to, we'll step back. So the very first thing we need to understand is that your body, throughout the whole day, throughout a 24-hour period, has the amount of calories it burns. And if you eat that same amount, so calories in, eating, calories out burning, if that is the same, you stay at the same weight. If you now eat more, so your calorie intake is higher than what your body burns or utilizes throughout this 24-hour period, you're going to gain weight. And if you eat less calories than your body burns, then you're going to lose weight. So you're Marc, oh God, is that the principle? Yes, that is it. That is the important bit. But now comes the actual crux about it. It is to, because you could say, well, I can eat 500 calories and I'm going to lose weight, or I can eat 1,000 calories and I'm going to lose weight. If you have 2,000 as your base. That is true. The real magic happens when you find the right number to lose weight. Let me explain that a little bit in more detail. So what I mean by that is we'll just take 2,000 as a baseline. Let's say my baseline state is, my baseline caloric intake for 24 hours is 2,000 calories. If I now drop to 1,000 calories every day, I will lose weight, without a doubt. But the problem might be that my caloric deficit, so the 1,000 calories I'm eating less, might be too big. And why is that? Well, what happens is that if you think about it in rational or in easy terms, just think about being that body. If I give you now 1,000 calories less, all you're going to be thinking about, because that's what your body at the end of the day really wants, and this is a primal instinct, is to survive. So if I deprive my body from food, what I will do is I will hold on to my fat as much as I can. At the same time, I will, drill down the metabolic rate. Your BMR will go down, your metabolism will go down, and you will get rid of muscle, because muscle is the powerhouse in your body which burns the energy. And if you're in this state of depriving your body of energy, your body will say, well, I should hold on to fat, get rid of my muscle, and shut down my metabolism. That's the best way of how your body, or that is the way your body will react when you deprive your body of too much calories. Now, you're like, okay, that's great. So how much should I then? What calorie deficit should I be using? And this is where trial and error comes in. So what I always aim for is that in a week's time, I want to lose around 0.5 to 1 pound, or even sometimes 2 pounds of body fat. And the way that works is that you monitor your weight on a daily basis, checking where you are at. And you weigh yourself every morning at the same time and seeing if what you're eating is really working. But that is basically the second rule, is now tracking your progress, which we will do in the next video. So just for this video, we need to figure out what is your optimum calorie intake. So here's how I calculate the optimum calorie intake in order to lose weight for myself and for my clients. So what I do is, and this is something I recommend you to do as well, is either you go on YouTube and you type in calorie calculator or something and figure something out, or you click on this link over here where I have my own and you can purchase it if you want. Either way, it doesn't matter. You will come up with a baseline calorie intake, because you will need to type in your name, not your name, your name obviously, your weight, your body fat percentage, and so on. And based on that, it will bring out your basal metabolic rate, your activity level, and then you come up with your maintenance, your calorie maintenance. And you can calculate that either way. And then off that number, you subtract 15 to 20% of calorie intake. So let's say you calculated that your maintenance for a day is 2,000 calories. You subtract 20%, which is 400 calories. So your optimum intake will be 1,600. And that's the number you have to freaking stick to for the whole week. We're going to be talking about, how, in terms of what food to eat and so on later on. But for now, all we want to know now is the optimum calorie intake number for one day. That will be this number, your maintenance minus 15 or 20%, depending on how rapid you want that weight loss. And important is that you monitor yourself now for the next 7 days. Your weight, you're gonna always jump on the scale and see how you do throughout the day. And within the 1 week's time, you should have lost something between half a pound to a pound, or sometimes even 2 pounds of body weight. And that's something you want to aim for. If after 7 weeks, nothing happens, zero, you're at the same weight, you know that the calories you're eating or the calorie deficit you're on is not optimum for you, because it's still not working. And this is where this whole calculation can go not wrong, but that's why you have to adjust. It's just a baseline starting calorie intake. And this is very, very important to realize. It's that the number calculated is not always the exact right number. So you have to play it by your own body. You have to see how you feel with it and if your body reacts to that number. But we are going to talk about plateaus and stuff also later on in later videos. All I want to make clear in this video is how to get your optimum calorie intake number in order to lose weight. Yeah, that's basically it for today. It's very simple. It's just to get that number right. Stick for it with 7 days. And then in the next video, which is coming up, we're going to be talking about tracking. How do you track this whole progress in order then to sustain your weight loss, and if you're on the right sort of path? So yeah, I hope this helped you out a little bit and it got you on the, got you started. If you have any questions, if you didn't understand anything, please make sure to leave a comment and ask me anything you want regarding to your caloric intake. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about tracking your progress. So how do you track, and what does tracking your progress actually mean? So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the like button and, whatever else you want to do. Now is the time to do it. I'll see you.